Hello world, welcome to the stream. Welcome back, Saturday. Alright, let's get into it. Now, if you remember last time, we wrapped up development on our inventory view. It's just quick walkthrough of where we are. So here's our main screen, start a new game, and if you remember last time we were working on displaying inventory, hitting I, we get our inventory screen. So we've got, two shields that we're holding, and last time we added input so we could move up and down, and then equip different things, or toggle equip. You can only have one piece of equipment per slot, so these are both shields go on your arm. You can only have one shield equipped on your arm at a time. We added a drop command, so D will drop it. So we've left our shield behind. This is what our game looks like. We're currently getting chased by a goblin and a kobold. See that they're not doing a lot of damage because we've got our shield equipped. Oh, and now I'm going to get... Oh, there was a sword in that other room. Let's see if I can go... There we go. Let's equip it. Hey, Coder China, how's it going? What is your question? Red of, how's it going today? Come back to the stream. Alright, so we equipped this, and then back to doing some fighting. Does a good coder need good English? I guess it depends what country you're trying to build your game in and for. I would say that regardless of language, a good coder needs good communication skills to be able to work, especially within a team. If you're a solo dev, that's less important, but you're still going to need communication skills if you're trying to grow a community or that sort of thing. But I mean, it really depends on your target audience. If your target audience is English speakers, then the better English that you speak yourself would, the better off you'll be. Game is going well, Bredov. I'm just trying to, I'm just catching folks up, refreshing my own memory where we ended up last stream. So we finished up the inventory. And if you remember on my to-do list, let's go. If you remember my to-do list here, we had, after items in inventory, we were going to move on to... yes, I did implement drop functionality. So last stream we... Go back to the game. Last stream we completely finished all of the inventory stuff, so you can see if I go in here, I can toggle using space or E, which we added. I added some more information, like the current weight you're carrying, and then the maximum weight that the player can carry, and then some instructions. So, up, down to select the item, space to equip, unequip, and also hit D, and then D to drop. So if we drop this shield, you can see it's now here, and we can go here and pick it back up, re-equip it. So the inventory stuff is looking pretty finished for the moment, and so we've got this cool dungeon level with equipment and monsters. Not very much of each, but that's just data files that need to be filled out with more interesting creatures and stuff. But originally on my list of things to do, I had implement save game functionality, and the more I was thinking about it off stream, like it's not something that is going to be super interesting to watch, I think. I just got, hey, Raystel, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. So implementing save game functionality is basically just serializing all of our world state to, I'm probably just going to persist it to a text file to make it easily debuggable and readable. But to do that would be kind of not difficult, but tedious, and not super well suited for a stream. So what I've done is I've kind of moved some stuff around. And so the next item on my list is now dungeon leveling. So right now we just have our single dungeon level, and there's no stairs that lead anywhere. So if you happen to knock out all the monsters on that level, you're done, which doesn't make for a great game. So what we're going to do, we're going to add stairs to our level at some random point, and then decide what level transitioning looks like, kind of change how it affects world state. And once we've got transferring from one level to another working, then we can work on adding bigger beasties to the lower levels and having greater rewards, just generally ratcheting up the difficulty and reward as the player gets deeper into the dungeon. And so we will get to saving, restoring game state, but I'd like to get the game to a more complete state before I worry about saving it, because at the end of the day, the game will probably be short enough that if we didn't implement saving it, it wouldn't be, the game will be small enough to sit and finish in a single playthrough. So saving is not an essential feature, it's more of just something to implement for completeness sake. Alright, so the first step is we want to place stairs randomly somewhere in our level. So we've got this level init function, and it's been a while since I looked at this, so it might take me a few minutes to kind of figure out the best place to add our stairs. So we generate a level, we generate the map here, we generate all the game objects for walls and floors, and then we have our dungeon level object, which kind of holds all of the data for a particular level together. And then, let's see. I don't think this is on my playlist. I'm gonna hold on 1 second, please. I think my list may have ended. I need to keep with the Monster Cat music, so let's do that. Alright, so we've generated our map and our dungeon level information, put all that into the world state, and then we go through the process of generating our monsters. And then we sprinkle some items throughout the level and place our player in a random position in the level. So it seems like down here would be a good spot to place the stairs. And I think, again, for the sake of simplicity, this is a one-way dungeon. You will be able to go down, but you won't be able to go back up again. If we play it a lot and we feel like that's really limiting, then we'll we can implement upwards mobility, but otherwise I think we'll just keep climbing down. Alright, so we're going to need this same basic code here. We're going to need to get a point that is open in our map, because we don't want it to be put on top of anything else. Then we'll generate a position component for that, but we also need, so for a staircase, we're going to need a visibility component. And then we're going to need, what else? All of our various components are up here. So we've got visibility we're going to need so we can draw it on the screen and on our map. Physical. Not sure that we're going to need. Movement we're not going to need. The stairs are not going to move. This isn't Harry Potter. Health we're not going to need. The stairs are not going to attack you, so no combat, and it's not equipment. So maybe just visibility and a position. But we are going to need some indication that this is a staircase. So maybe just based on the name. Because I'm thinking, how would we know when the stairs are underneath the player? But we can do is we can examine the player's position and see what other game objects are on that particular position. And if the stairs are there, then we can handle it that way. Okay, so position and visibility we're going to need. Oops. I thought, how do I go back? I thought it was Alt. Help me. Go back. Alt, left arrow. Oh. Alright, so we've got our position. I do want to see. Look at this for add 18. Position visibility. Physical. We do generate physical for our floor, but I'm wondering, how do we do that? Are we using a kind of an entity component system? Yes. That's exactly what I'm using. So everything has a base. We just have a base game object. Walk through it real quick. We've got a game object, which is basically just an ID, and then for traversing the data structures more easily, a game object will keep a list of references to any components that are attached to it. And then we have different component types. So this is the list of component types: position, visibility, physical, health, movement, combat, equipment, and then we add them as we find the need arises. So basically we have this, super simple game object, and then we latch on the different components as needed. And then we have different routines that will act on different sets of components. So like if we're doing line of sight, we'll look at the physical components for all of the game objects around us, so we can see if it blocks sight. Similarly for movement, we'll look at the physical components. If the player's trying to move and there's a game object next to them that has a physical component that blocks movement, then movement's disallowed. So we actually have a physical component for a floor, and I don't remember why I did that, so we might have to make sure that we let's just see what we've got. So we will do where does this game object live? I think that adds it to world state, right? Okay, so we don't need to chain a pointer to it because the world state will. Yep. Now I'm lost in my own code base. Okay, so we'll create a game object for stairs. Game object 8. And then we'll grab a point, an open point on our map. Object ID is going to be upstairs. And this is not going to be layer top. This is going to be layer. Could be ground, I guess. Makes sense. Hey, Studio Fortress, what's going on? What made me want to write it in C? Just because I wanted to learn more C and more about C, and I write code, for my day job, and I write in a higher level language. So it's just kind of this is a hobby project, so I wanted to get down to the metal. It forces you to think differently about the code you're writing and really think about how memory is being used and how it's laid out on the computer. And so it's just, it's stretching different brain muscles, I guess, if you want to put it that way. Plus, it's kind of fun. I mean, C is it's a small enough language that it's not like super hard to pick up, but there's it gives you plenty of rope to hang yourself. So you do need to be careful, but it's fun. I'm enjoying it. Plus, I mean, for a classic roguelike, old school ASCII roguelike, it feels like C is a natural fit. For work, right now I do iOS development, so Objective-C and Swift, mostly Swift these days. I also do some Android development, so there's some Java involved. Are you a coder? All right, stairs. Yeah, and it's Swift is Objective-C. It looks really strange when you first look at it, but once you kind of learn the idioms, that it's actually, I mean, it's no different than any other language, and it's got some, especially when Apple built they came out with Objective-C 2.0 and added automatic reference counting. That was made it a lot more friendly to work in. You know, I started doing iOS development back when the iPhone, you know, first allowed development in C, and it was, you know, back iOS 3 days was you had to count all your references. It wasn't too different from this. You needed to be careful with your memory, or you would crash the app, you know, pretty easily. And the frameworks that Apple's built for doing iOS development, they fit my brain real well, and it's nice that they've adapted them to Swift really nicely. So I enjoy doing iOS coding. So you learned C in university. Did you do? Are you doing development these days? Mostly front end. Are you doing web stuff? So you're doing like JavaScript front end stuff, or desktop apps? TypeScript day to day, Really nice to work. Oh, so do you use? I just this past week switched over to use Visual Studio Code. I was using Sublime Text, but I'm really enjoying it so far. So do you use Visual Studio Code for TypeScript programming, or are you on the full Visual Studio? By the way, I just want to call out this music. If you're digging it, you can see at the bottom of my screen, it's got the artist's name. It's Pilot, and they're on Monster Cat, and they've got like this great like 80s synth vibe. So if you're into that, I advise you check them out. They're on Spotify and Monster Cat. So. Oh, Vim bindings, old school, man. All right, so this staircase, we're creating a game object for it, and we're giving it a point on our map for fortress-inspired clone. That's cool. Oh, so you do Rust? How? I haven't delved too much into Rust. I've read through some of the docs. It sounds like it's a safer C. You know, they want to keep kind of the low levelness of C, but kind of make it less likely that you're going to shoot yourself in the foot. You're doing ASCII. Oh, that reminds me. Speaking of which, let's just save this real quick. I want to switch it into full ASCII mode, because right now I'm doing the. So there's two modes right here. Ooh, is this going to work now? Is this going to jump into my code? No, it's not. 807. Hold on, let's just comment this out because I want to show what fix this stuff. All right, so right now it loads up and it's on, you know, image mode or whatever. But if you hit the T, it'll toggle into ASCII mode. And basically, I wrote this function that will take an image and turn it into a close approximation ASCII. So kind of toggle back and forth. But I want to start the game up in that ASCII mode. And then similarly, like if I go into my inventory screen, this, you can see I still need to work on the algorithm. There's a couple artifacts that you'll see where this is, oops, hold on. This is the original image. And like, for some reason, it's not, this shouldn't be. It's got these kind of knobby bits sticking off the side. And there's a couple cells where it's not getting interpreted properly, but I will definitely revisit that. See if we can get to our end game screen. Get me. Okay, so it died, and then so this is our end game screen. Oh, that's nice to hear a bit of. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Monster Cat. I like their music, the music that they produce, or that they are the label for. So yeah, I've got this kind of ASCII mode that I'd like to turn on by default because, you know, it's an old school ASCII roguelike, so it should start up in ASCII mode. And I have no idea where that flag is. Don't remember. Is it in globals? I guess I could just look in our ASCII mode. There it is. So we'll start it out true. Boom. Okay. There we go. Back to our stairs. So I'm gonna need a game object update. You can type today. It's okay. Update our stairs object, and we'll update our position component, and we'll send it our stair. Not getting on a complete here. Alright, so stair position. Alright, so now this should exist in our game world. Let's see if we can find. Oh, so let's. Yeah, it's just gonna appear as a floor because I copy pasted that. So let's change this to stairs. Visible outside Field of vision.
It's quite complex, but what I know.
Let's see what true does with that one. Background color is going to be clear. Foreground color, what color do we want for our stairs? Thinking perhaps like a yellow, goldish type thing. Like a yellow. Just grabbing the first thing that comes up on the interwebs. Just for now. So we'll do that. It's going to be 7, and then FF for our alpha channel. The glyph is going to be is it the right arrow or the left arrow? Is it? Doesn't matter since we're only doing. Let's see what the see if there's a standard, quote unquote standard. I don't know which. Downstairs. Is it a greater than or less than sign? People want to hit Rogue Basin and see what. No, that's not. Staircase down. It looks like it's greater than. Okay, so we've got our position. Got. I wonder if we need to put this. How do we do our floor? How is this going to interact with our floors? I feel like we should remove, if there's a floor tile at that position, we should remove it. But let's worry about that. Okay. Blocks movement, no. Blocks sight, no. Okay. Got an issue. Redefinition of course. Alright, let's see if we can find some stairs. It's not stairs, that's a shield. You good to get though? Keep us alive a little bit longer. Oh, and a sword. Oh, and look at that. We got stairs. Sweet. And actually, it seems to, since we're putting it later in our list, we're inserting it after the floor, it will appear over the top of the floor. Some stuff. Let's get this snake. Oh man, one shot. Nice. And we've got stairs. So right now we don't. The stairs are visible in our world, but we have no there's no logic to do anything other than draw them someplace on our map. Our player can't interact with them in any way, so that would be the next step. So I'm thinking that when there's a movement phase where if the character moves, we examine where they've moved to and display interesting messages like there's a sword here or there's a whatever here. So we update. Is it an environment update? Let's see. Oh, here we go. Yeah, environment update. So we check to see if there's any items at the player's current position. And this would be an excellent place to check and see if they're standing on the staircase. Let's close this up so we have our code. So we're going to see if there are any items at the player's position. I wonder if it would be, if our code would allow us putting, the map generator would put an item on top of a staircase. We're going to have to look at that. So we're going to look at items, and right now we check and see if there's an equipment component. We loop through all the game objects at the position, and we check for an equipment component. What we're going to want to do is add another check in this loop for stairs. So let's see. To keep a reference to it, but what we can do is after the equipment, I'm gonna want to break out of the loop because we're gonna want to loop through all of the things at this position. So we'll grab a reference to the equipment, but we do want to keep looping so that we can then say we'll get the visibility component. And I'm not used to this keyboard. Look for our comp visibility. And then what we're going to want to do is do I have my string, when I added that string collection, do I have a string equals? String destroys. I have an unimplemented string compare. Sweet. Gotta finish this string library some point. Well, no time like the present, I guess. Maybe I just want a string equals. That would be pretty sweet, right? Side detour, flesh out this string helper library a bit. And this is basically just going to be a proxy for string compare. It's not a very elaborate helper method, but double check. My memory of string comp is correct. It returns 0 if they are equal. Yes. If string. We'll say the visibility name and the string, what do we call it, stairs? And in that case, we'll just add a message. Just copy this. There's a there are stairs down here, and then we'll want so probably D for down or descend. Let's see, this is green. It seems like a reasonable. Or maybe let's do it in the same color that we have our stairs in. Be consistent, yes? Hello, S4. How's it going? How's it going out there? Alright, we'll add a message to our message window that says, hey, there's some stairs, wouldn't you love to go down them? Let's see. Oh. What just happened? Uh-oh. We just crashed. Did we? Still error. It's like our did we hit a breakpoint or something? Let's try. No, we're crashing now. Okay, so it's something that we just added. It's not happy. Let's look and see what we've done. What have we done? Roguelike and see brave, am I? It's not so bad. C is not something to be feared. It really isn't. Yes, it's very easy to do silly things that will crash, as you can see I've just done apparently. But you know, it's just an interesting problem to solve now. So okay, so we took the break. We've got our game object. We've got. Thanks for the follow, S4. I appreciate it. We've got the. Maybe we should do a check here and see if this has a visibility component, because not all of our game objects are visible. I bet that's our issue. So what we actually need here is another clause for our if. Do an and. Say if our visibility is not equal to null, then we can dereference this. Let's see if that does the trick. Nope, did not do the trick. So it's interesting that the debugger integration with the VS Code, it doesn't seem to be saying it doesn't have the right stuff. All right, let's give it another eyeball. Let's see. Alternatively, I can put a breakpoint here. You can see what happens. Because it could be our new string equals is, you know, we did something dumb. Let's see. So we've got our breakpoint here. V is not null. That's our player object. You can see. Doesn't have a name. Let's dive down into this. String 1 is just empty, and string 2 is S. Maybe the it should have. Okay, that's fine. There's nothing broken yet. Now what's our V? It's our floor. Get that again. Seems okay. Back. Something. It didn't crash that time. Alright, it appears that we're okay right now. Let's disable the breakpoint. Let's see. Did I not save after I made my fix? Maybe that's the problem. Because we seem to be back. Let's equip this sword. Out of my way, foul serpent. Shield. Let's find us some stairs. Rather not have to fight all these guys. Oh boy. Now I'm in trouble. Good thing with the current levels in the game, the player's a little bit OP. That's a big room. Oh, I see the stairs. See them? You saw them for a brief minute and stay visible. Okay, so now when we approach the stairs, we should see, when we get on top of the stairs, we should see a message. Alright, there are stairs down. Perfect, descend. Now, which we haven't implemented yet. Let's just see that message again. Oh, look at that! Sweet. Okay, so let's get to implementing the component. It's always important to save your fixes after you make them. Okay, so we need to handle the key press of a D. Hey, Born to be Reborn, how's it going? Yeah, ASCII graphics are fun. They are minimalist, but it's that surprisingly, it really doesn't take away from the fun of the game. So. Alright, so we've got our in-game screen logic here, and in our... we have this big old handle event in-game that handles the various key presses that this particular screen will deal with. So, let's see, I think I have some sort of... I've got the arrow keys here, and we've already defined the D key, but we've defined it for the inventory view. So when the inventory view is visible, D will drop the currently selected items. So what we want to do is we want to say when it is null, we'll add an else case. Now we'll handle it in the case where they're just on the regular play screen. So and so this is where we're gonna transition from one level of the dungeon to the next. And I'm guessing that we'll probably want a... we may already actually have... Do we already have... Let's see what we've got. We've got a level init, we've got a level get open point, level manager, we've got an item, level init. So we do have a level init. So we've got clear the previous level data from the world state. So what we could do is we basically, I think we've got this dungeon level that has a number. And a map. I think we're going to want a routine to handle level level descend. Because we've got, well, I guess we just point to current level. Let's see. Oh, we've got level to generate. I already thought about all of this. Wow, genius. Okay, level in it. We'll send it level to generate, and then the player. So we place them randomly in the. So we need to call this level in it. Why do I have two of these open? And we'll call it next level. And our player object, I guess. So, how do we know what the next level is? Well, we're going to look at the current level. So we've got a pointer to, oops, that is not the right file. We've got a pointer to our current level. Which is one of these structs. And so we're just going to grab the level number out of that. So we'll grab this. Current level, this one, right? And then we'll call level init, and then what? Is that enough? So I had this debug code in here for like generating, when I was working on the map generator, that basically just generates a bunch of different maps. And I'm thinking that, wait a minute, what's this? Oh, I've already got a current level number. Oh my goodness, I'm jumping all around. Okay, so current level number, let's find that. Place the player in it. And then so we need to do our FOV calculations. We need to redo that and regenerate the target map. So that looks like that's pretty much what we need. Yeah, these three same things. So current level number. So what I need to do for descending is, yeah, I still think I want to do this in a routine. But let's do current plus equals 1, and we'll do this. This will be what is FOV? Field of view or field of vision. Yeah, so it's when the player's moving through the dungeon, you can kind of see that circular area of visibility that's affected by things like walls and that sort of, and corridors and that sort of thing. So yeah, it's field of vision, field of view. So this is kind of our logic to descend to the next level. We'll take the current level number and increment it. We will send that to our level init, which will generate a brand new map with our player in it. Then what we're going to do is grab the position of the player within that map so that we can feed that into our field of view calculations and our target map calculations, which are used to move monsters around and to generate what's visible on the screen to the player. And I'd like to take all of these and wrap them in a function. So I'm going to do level send. And then we're going to go write this. It's our level stuff. Put it right after level init. Alt Shift B, Control Shift B, build. I think I'm going to need forward declarations for these guys. Generate target map. Yep, it's right below. Alright, let's just let's spice this up a bit. Got some forward declarations up here, we'll just add it to the list. Because you have to declare the function before... Is it? What's the playlist I'm listening to? So this is, it's actually called the PD Code Soundtrack. It's, I've shared it on Spotify. But it's basically a catalog of music that I like from Monster Cat, which is a record label. And they allow me to, well, I license their music so that I can play it on stream and not, not get sued, but also to support the artists in question. So, like when I put stuff on YouTube, my stuff doesn't get flagged for copyright infringement because I'm licensing the music. But all their stuff is freely available on Spotify. I don't think I have a Spotify window, unfortunately, so I can't show it to you. But if you search for PD Code Soundtrack, it will probably come up. On. Okay. So yeah, if you're enjoying that, it's on Spotify. It's called the PD Code Soundtrack. But you can also search for Monster Cat and just browse their catalog. All right. So what was the other? I was complaining about two functions. What was the other one? FOV calculate. That's what it is. Don't have that forward declare up high enough apparently. Let's see if that'll build for us. Yes. Okay, so let's give it a test. Hopefully our crashing again. What? Alright, you know what? I'm gonna launch this through the command line so I can jump into Visual Studio and see what's going on. Did it come up? There it is. Okay, let me get OBS to show you. It's in our string equals. Oh, okay, it came up. Perfect. I wasn't sure if I was showing that window. So it looks like we're sending it a null string. So let's look at our call stack and see when we would be doing that, because that's not good. Why would we have a visibility component with a null name? What is RV? It's our player. Oh, player doesn't have a name. Poor player. Let's fix that. Okay. I think we set up our player in dark.c. What's the internal keyword for? It's just an alias for static. So I've defined a couple things. I've defined internal to be static, local persist to be static, and global variable to be static, just because static in C has several different meanings depending on where it appears, so it just makes it a little bit more readable. Where do we... our player... It's not in this one. Player... Do we generate it on our level? Oh, where's our player? Item get, I think it's probably, there, we have a world in it. World state and init. Oh, here it is, right here. Game new. Okay, so visibility right here, blah, 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 blah. Let's add a name. Name equals Bob. No, player. Okay, that should fix up our crashes. So, save, build. Too many characters in constant. Okay. Oh, So, okay, so I was just coding in some PHP yesterday, so you can use single or double quotes in PHP, but in C, you must use double quotes for a string and single quotes for a character. That is... that is true, going to be. You can do anything, which is a good thing and a bad thing sometimes. But yes, definitely keeps you on your toes. Alright, let's equip these. Finish off this goblin and go find some stairs. Out of my way, kobold. Okay, where are my stairs? There they are, right in the middle of the hallway. Kind of weird. We might want to do something about that, but... Alright, so hitting D should theoretically send me down the stairs to the next level. Bam! Alright, so now we're over here. We should probably put some kind of message saying, you know, what horrors will await you on this level. Or like, you're now on level whatever. Oh, we should add the current dungeon level to our info box as well. But this level looks legit so far. Of course, we only have swords and shields, so you're not going to find anything more interesting right now until we add those to the game. Got a nasty fight going on, though. Okay. Player's OP. Or the monsters are underpowered, more likely. There's our stairs. Okay, okay, so remember I was asking before if our logic would allow an item and the stairs to be... Am I using Direct 2D? No. I'm using SDL as my kind of cross-platform graphics and sound and input handling layer. Because this game will work on Windows. It also runs on... I use Macs most of the time for personal and development use, and it runs on Macs, and so it also runs on Linux, all without anything other than a separate makefile and some slightly different libraries that are pulled in by that makefile. So that's thanks to SDL2. And then all the rest of it is my own code. There aren't any frameworks or engines that are pulled in for this. Let's get the sword. So we've got the issue where an item can appear on the stairs, which looks kind of janky. So we're gonna... Oh, Dota 2 is written in SDL? That's cool. I did not know that. Alright, let's descend the stairs yet again. Okay, so it seems like our leveling is working. Let's display to the player what level they're on. So let's add that to our info box. That's our in-game screen. And we've got a... inventory view, map view, message log view, stats view. That's what we're looking for. Now, do we think we want that? Is there a second? Yeah, sorry, Studio Fortress. There is. I've got dual streaming going on, so I apologize for that. But I'm trying to read out the questions so that everybody can benefit. So, do we want to put it above or at the very bottom? Let's probably just put it at the bottom. We'll do a string create, and we'll just do integer, and then we'll do current level number, I think. Console. String it. Where do we want to put it? 0, let's see. Defense is at 3, so maybe 5? I don't know if it's that tall enough. I have to go for, remember how many lines there were underneath, which room there was underneath the player stats. And let's see, what kind of color do we want? Well, we know our background color is going to be transparent. Am I using structs instead of classes? Yes, I am, because C does not have classes. It has only structs. Classes are something that is in C++ and many other. Yes. Oh, if you're from Java, everything's a class then. So yes, C does not have classes built into the language. There is no object-oriented programming. That said, you certainly could build your own object-oriented system in C. Objective-C is basically a flavor of C that you can build your own object-oriented bits on. Yeah, plus you can hang functions off the struct as a function pointer. Yeah, I mean, you can do something similar. But again, I was talking about why earlier about why I do this in C, and this is one of those things where it forces you to think a little differently. Because right now, at my day job, I use Swift and Objective-C, and so to come at a problem with and not apply object-oriented programming, it forces you to think differently. And sometimes you come up with more efficient and better ways to do things outside of the object system that you can then pull those techniques into your higher level code or your object-oriented code. There's a proposal to add classes to C in the next standard for compatibility. I would be surprised if that ever happens. And if you want to use classes, you pretty much would use and still kind of have the flavor of C. You would use C++. I don't know why people would want to bring classes into C. Yeah, Studio Fortress, I'm with you. I much prefer having data and functions as separate things. I think a lot of the problems, like with object-oriented programming, is being taught in schools, and with things like Java, you have to. There's no way around it, but it kind of pigeonholes you into thinking about problems in only one way, and so it helps to be able to kind of step back and step outside the object system and think about the data involved and what's really essential to manipulating that data. So it's an interesting thought exercise. All right, back to what color am I going to use for this thing? What color are we drawing the stairs in? Let's just stick with that. Seems fairly consistent. This thing, right? Okay, let's go. Let's see. Dungeon undeclared identifier. What did I do? Oh. How about some quotes there, P? Jeez. Brain took a break there. Let's see. It's not appearing. Really like what Swift has done to kind of bring objects and structs and you know, instead of object-oriented programming, it's really more protocol-oriented programming, and so a lot of it'll let you use structs very easily, and structs are very powerful in the language. But you can go full-on object-oriented if you want. Alright, and I'm gonna... Maybe too far off the screen. Yep, that's exactly the issue. So now we got our dungeon level. Sweet. Alright. Well, pretty satisfied with where we ended up today. I think I've got other obligations. I can't, unfortunately, stream all day. Oh, let's test it out. Let's just make sure we down a level. Now we're on dungeon level 2. Perfect. But I think we got a lot done today. We implemented placing stairs in our dungeon, and we implemented actually transferring from one level to the next, and conveying that information on the screen to the user. I think next stream we'll probably add a couple more messages. Like after they've descended a level, we'll say, you go down the stairs, or some kind of message like that, and then continue the work of making successive dungeon levels harder and adding more stuff to the game so that those levels are interesting. So I'm going to call it a day. Thanks everyone for watching. If you are interested in seeing any of the previous streams, everything's up on YouTube. And the source code is available on GitHub. So if you want to check that out, you can grab the code, build it on your machine at home, and then play along. And if you have any questions, hang out on Twitter at PDCodes. So thanks for watching today. Be sure to hit that follow button if you haven't already, so you get notified the next time I go live. And I hope everybody has a great rest of their weekend. Take care.